growing up, I was never someone that actually really cared for the wilderness and the animals that live in the wilderness. That's not saying that I hate animals. I like animals, but I was just never a person to really invest my time to learn about every single thing that happens in the wilderness, the woods, even though this movie doesn't pertain to the jungle, places like that. But I'll be real honest with you, this movie that just released today, it made me really care about every single thing that happens in the woods. It made me care about every single animal that are living in these communities. It made me care about bears, wolves, foxes, ducks, geese, everything in the wilderness because of how emotionally invested I was in this movie. This movie, it pulled at my heartstrings, and it is an emotional roller coaster in my opinion. This movie will make you laugh, it will make you cry, it will make you sad, it will make you go through so many emotions that I am gonna say this right now. This is probably the best family friendly movie I've seen in the last 5 years. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of the characters that are in the movie. The main character's name is Roz, but that's actually a shorter name for Rosm. And after Rosm, there's like numbers after because it is a robot. And the robot is from this corporation called Universal Dynamics. And this Universal Dynamics corporation, they build robots that help the community. They build robots that help the community's everyday lives. And as you can tell by me describing this movie is actually set in the future in a bit because they have to deal with more science fiction themes of robots actually functioning, helping, and living with humans, giant robots that have powers, and a lot of AI sentient beings. But one of the cargo ships that were in Universal Dynamics, one of those cargo ships got lost. And when they now got lost, they now crash landed in this wilderness. They crash landed in this little island that is basically just the woods, just nature. And when it crashed, all of the robots that were in the ship all scattered. A lot of them just got malfunction except for one robot, Rosm. And when Rosm awoken, it started to follow its task. Now, the tasks that these robots follow is whenever they're put to a certain task, they always try their best to accomplish that task, and when that task is done, they now shut down, or they either go on to do the next task. And that's what Rosm was trying to do, but since the shipwreck completely kind of altered the robot's functioning, Roz was just trying to help out any animal that. And when Roz was trying to help out all these animals, a lot of the animals did not like Roz. They thought that she was a monster. They thought that she wasn't helping things. They were disregarding her because they're animals. They would run away when they see certain stuff. And then we now start to see a lot of these great scenes where these animals were stealing things from Roz. They were stealing her compartment, stealing a lot of things that is actually inside Roz. And one of these animals that were doing these actions, one of these animals that were stealing from Roz is a fox. Now that fox is called Fink, but at first the fox was trying to, steal a lot of stuff from Roz, trying to actually antagonize Roz at first. And when Roz saw that, Roz tried to run away until something tragic happened that will actually play into the big main events and plot points of this movie, is because Roz accidentally killed a family of geese, and these geese all died. This family of geese unfortunately were killed on accident by Roz, except for one little baby geese that was actually in this egg, and Roz was trying to help this baby geese in this egg, and she had to overcome a lot of animals trying to steal this egg and eat this egg. Even Fink as well, he returned, and then she even had to overcome fighting a bear too. And remember, all these animals, they will play a major part in the finale of the movie, because Roz, she now eventually has the egg to herself, and then the egg now cracks open, and then we now are introduced into a new character, the baby of the movie Bright Bill. And we now see that Bright Bill, as a baby geese, now he is thinking, okay, this creature, this person, this thing that is in front of me is now my mom. I have to follow this thing. I have to do all the things that this thing is doing. And Roz, at first, she did not like Bright Bill because these robots are supposed to be manufactured to not have any emotional feelings and have any emotional attachments to what they're doing. Their only objective is to complete a task. And Roz at first was not trying to do that. They now encounter Fink again. Fink, he really just needed friends. He just really needed friends, but he was just trying to eat Bright Bill at first because Fink, he's actually a pessimistic person. He doesn't really like the outcome of things. He doesn't really like helping people. Only wants to help himself until he meets them. This movie has a lot of themes, and one of those themes is to feeling that you're belonged. It's feeling that you have a family. It's feeling that you aren't an outcast and you are included. So when Roz, she's trying to do the task, and now the new task that Fink and a possum, and this family of possum is this mom possum, and she has little kids. The possum basically tells Roz a new task. Since now this is basically your son, you have to act like a mom to it. Roz doesn't know how to act like a mom. So the possum now tells Roz that in order to take care of this new baby, you have to make sure that it can eat, make sure that it can fly, and make sure that it can swim before the fall, because when that time period happens is the Great Migration, because winter is coming and all the ducks need to migrate. All the geese and the birds need to migrate, and the animals need to hibernate. So Roz has this new task, but she doesn't really like Bright Bill. But Bright Bill is so appreciative of everything. He wants to help out. He wants to just help out Roz build this home, and Fink even comes. They now become friends, basically. Then as we're seeing these characters, they interact with new characters like this, I don't know if it's a platypus or a groundhog that everyone really just makes fun of. He's trying to carve out the biggest tree. Everyone makes fun of this groundhog. We see other characters that will play a role into the main event of the movie. Then we're seeing, and I'm just noticing the art of this movie, the cinematography, the graphic designers, whatever they put into this movie, they cooked, in my opinion. The art is magical. I'll tell you this right now. It makes you think that you are in this movie. But then we're seeing, as the movie is going on, we're now seeing that Bright Bill has grown up, and Bright Bill now, he's like a teen. But the problem is this, is geese, when they're babies, if they're separated from their mom, they can't grow normally. It's how nature is. It's how the way of life is. Basically, there's going to be complications at birth, and one of the complications for Bright Bill is that he's smaller than the other geese. So Bright Bill, as a teen, he's trying to make friends with other animals. They're scared of him. He doesn't really feel like he's belonged. Then he now eventually stumbles upon his people, his geese community, and he's like, wow, these are my people. They're just like me. I want to hang out with them. He's trying to make friends. He was talking with this adult geese lady until these three haters, these three bullies of geese, saw Bright Bill, and these three bullies of geese were now antagonizing him. They almost killed him. They almost drowned Bright Bill until that eventually stopped, and Roz came to intervene. And Bright Bill, he heard something from them that what this robot is not your mom, and this robot actually killed your family. And Bright Bill later at the home confronted Roz about that, and this scene was sad. I was like, wow, I'm actually feeling emotions for a robot and an animal, because when Bright Bill told Roz that you're not even my mom, I don't know you, like, he's just basically telling Roz off, because you have to understand Bright Bill's shoes. Roz killed his family. He killed his mom, killed his dad, killed his siblings. Even though it was an accident, that thing still happened. So that is an understandable thing to really resonate with Bright Bill. But this scene causes Roz to finally feel emotion, and to finally feel that this programming I was programmed isn't right. But then as Bright Bill storms off, Roz wants to leave. Roz wants to leave because even though now she understands what's happening, she has not fulfilled her task. Even though she has helped him eat, she hasn't really helped him swim, and she has not helped him fly. She wants to leave, but Fink talks Roz to not leave. Then we now get Roz and Bright Bull to eventually reunite again because Roz and Fink want to help Bright Bull learn how to fly for the Great Migration, because when the migration happens, snow happens, and a lot of animals who can't fly and can't migrate are gonna die. So we're now going to this sequence that, in my opinion, was a powerful sequence of them trying and failing, trying and failing. It's like a trial and error sequence of trying to help Bright Bull fly. Then it eventually works, and in my opinion, it's powerful because it's showing that Bright Bull is actually understanding that even though Roz did those things by accident, Roz still wants to help out. Then we now see a new character, Longneck, and Longneck is like an elder in this geese community. Longneck has been watching what's been going on. He has been seeing that the creatures of the forest think Roz is a monster, but he knows and he's seen that Roz is not a monster, and she's actually trying to help. So the Great Migration happens. Longneck and everybody are ready to migrate, and Bright Bull finally knows how to fly. Bright Bull doesn't want to leave. Longneck is actually a great mentor, helping Bright Bull know how to fly, and a great ally and friend. Then they now set off, they fly, and Bright Bull knows how to fly. The smallest person in the group knows how to fly, and it was a powerful, magical scene. And I thought that Roz would leave, but she didn't really leave. She had the transmitter and it was working, but she now turned it off. Then when she turned it off, we now see a scene of the geese flying in the sky. They're flying through storms, flying through different periods of the day. But this storm, this winter storm that's happening, is too much for these geese. And this storm is the same storm that is causing the animals to hibernate, that are on the ground and can't fly. So then this storm happens, so the geese community have to fly into this place that they think is shelter, but they now see these robots, the same robots that is Roz. And then Bright Bull and some other of the geese were trying to talk to the robots, but the robots saw them as contamination, and they needed to remove the contamination of birds and geese in this place. And then we now see a new variation of these robots that are like very powerful and that can shoot beams and lasers from their hands. And then we're just seeing this happen, and it's actually intense that the geese are trying to find ways to maneuver. Some geese are getting killed, but we now see a scene that was sad, man. Longneck, he died because he got in the way to protect Bright Bull. Before that, he told Bright Bull to lead the pack. To lead the pack, I trust you. You know what I mean? Basically telling him that this is your time. Then Bright Bull was flying. The robots were shooting at Bright Bull, but Longneck got in the way. He now tried to fight, but we know the blast that killed him. That shit kind of hurt me. I was like, damn, this guy, he was a good guy. He was a mentor, you know? But we see that Roz is supposed to leave, but she's not trying to leave. She really loves Bright Bull, and she's not trying to leave because she didn't get the chance to tell Bright Bull, I love you. And Bright Bull wants to get the chance to tell Roz, I love you too. So after the Great Migration, they now eventually come home. We see Roz, she is banged up, but she still is chugging on. She still is trying. Then we now see the real climax of the movie. It is the winter. They're hibernating. They're all gathered to hibernate. Then we now see that Fink, his hibernation, he had to leave his place because there was too much snow. It was too cold. So he went back to the home that Roz and Bright Bull and Fink built. But they now actually realize this winter can cause every animal here to die. So we need to save them. So then when Fink and Bright Bull now do this plan to save every animal from the ecosystem, instead of letting them die, they now saved every single one of them. At first, Fink didn't want to, but then he now eventually did it. But they eventually get every single animal, even the bear, even the apex predators of this place, to this home. At first, they're fighting each other until a speech from Fink happened, and it caused everyone to unite, because Roz is almost dying. She is almost shutting down out of power. So then all the animals now agree, a truce. We will stop fighting each other. We will stop being at war with each other. Then they're actually at peace with each other. And I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy, because usually in the way of life, animals are supposed to kill each other. You know what I mean? But in this movie, they stopped that. I'm like, damn, a lot of lessons, a lot of themes were piling up in this movie. Then we now see the climax of the movie is when the ship that is coming back for Roz, because Roz, when she initially took out that chip that she was supposed to have gone back home, they eventually came, and coincidentally, the Great Migration ended. Geese came back. There's a celebration. Fink reunites with Bright Bill. Bright Bill wants to see Roz, but Roz didn't show up. So then on Bright Bill's way to find Roz, they now see that Roz is getting basically taken back to where she came from, but the AI, the enemy, I forgot her name, I think it's Vantra or something like that. I forgot her name, I'll be honest with you, but the AI, the main antagonist, she is insane. Not really insane, because her programming is to make sure that robots don't feel emotion, but her programming, she's also morally wrong, and she even admits that. She wants to wipe all the memories that Roz has made. So then Roz now leaves, she's trying to leave, and then the robots now come to attack Roz. The big robots coming to attack Roz. Then we now see the first time the animals are working together. They're all working together to attack these robots. And when I saw that, I was like, damn, that shit was a great scene, because we all see the animals, the bears, the mooses, the geese, everyone's working together. But it's proven to be overwhelming at first, but then Roz now eventually gets captured. Then when she now gets captured, the AI, evil AI, now causes the whole entire ecosystem or the wilderness to be put on fire. Then when this was happening, I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I thought that all the animals would have died, but they didn't, because we now see Bright Bull, and Bright Bull, he's now leading the pack, because since Longneck is dead, Bright Bull, he's now leading the pack of geese to fly into the ship. When I flew into the ship, we're almost seeing that Roz, her memory is about to be completely wiped out of history, so she can't remember Bright Bull. But we now see that, you know, the good guys that saved the day, because Bright Bull, the geese pack that he let in, they now actually caused something in the ship's compartments and the wings to completely just overheat and then explode. Then we're not seeing all the animals, they're playing with the robots like hands and causing the ship to explode as well. And then the AI got killed after they trapped it magnetically up in the ceiling. Then before the AI completely turned off, it now said, we won't stop until we actually find you. Then when Roz heard that, she now actually really realized that, damn, as long as they keep on coming, this ecosystem, this little island where the animals live, they're always gonna get attacked and always gonna get disintegrated. So then Roz, at the end of the movie, now finally realizes that even though she actually didn't follow protocol of her programming to actually be a robot and help humans, instead of now she's this rogue robot and now she's actually helping the animals instead, Roz now decides to leave and go back to her thing. But the catch is that she has a way to not completely get her mind wiped. I forgot how they explained it, but I ain't gonna lie, this movie, there's a reason why it has 99% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. There's a reason why, because this movie, at first I thought it was a kids movie. I thought this movie at first was just like a comedy, kids, family friendly movie. Even though there wasn't really too many deaths except for Longneck, this movie is dark, and I ain't gonna lie, this movie is like very emotional, you know. It's very crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. And there's a reason why everyone right now is saying that is one of the best animated movies that's happening right now. And there's a reason why it's 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's the end of the video. I'm out. Peace.